The late 1960s were a time of great social and political upheaval in the United States, a period marked by significant transformations and widespread unrest. The Vietnam War raged on, dividing the nation and sparking intense protests across the country. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum, challenging deeply ingrained prejudices and fighting for equality and justice. Amidst this backdrop of change and uncertainty, a new kind of terror emerged in Northern California, the Zodiac Killer, a name that would soon become synonymous with fear. From 1968 to 1969, the Zodiac Killer terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area, claiming responsibility for 5 brutal murders and 2 attempted murders, leaving a trail of fear and confusion. His modus operandi was as chilling as it was perplexing, leaving investigators baffled and the public terrified. The Zodiac primarily targeted young couples in secluded areas, often using a firearm and a knife in his attacks, making these serene spots scenes of horror. But what truly set the Zodiac apart from other killers was his brazen communication with the authorities and the media, a tactic that kept him in the public eye. He taunted them with cryptic letters and ciphers, boasting of his crimes and threatening further bloodshed, creating an atmosphere of dread. His letters, often signed with a cross-circle symbol, became a chilling hallmark of his reign of terror, a signature that struck fear into the hearts of many. The Zodiac's cryptic messages, coupled with the brutality of his crimes, sent shockwaves through the nation, capturing the attention of millions. The public was captivated and terrified in equal measure as the mystery of the Zodiac Killer grew with each passing day. Law enforcement agencies launched a massive manhunt, but the Zodiac Killer always seemed to be one step ahead, vanishing into thin air after each attack, leaving no trace behind. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror may have been short-lived, but his impact on American culture has been profound and lasting, a dark chapter in history. He became a symbol of evil, an enigma that has haunted the public imagination for decades, a figure shrouded in mystery. The mystery of his identity continues to fascinate and frustrate, fueling countless books, documentaries, and amateur investigations, each seeking to uncover the truth. Even after all these years, the question remains, who was the Zodiac Killer? A question that may never be answered but continues to intrigue and haunt us. The Zodiac's first confirmed victims were David Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16. They were young, full of life, and had their whole futures ahead of them. On December 20, 1968, the young couple was parked on Lake Herman Road, a popular lover's lane near Vallejo, California. It was a quiet, secluded spot where many young couples went to spend time together. A passing car disturbed them but returned a short time later. The couple likely felt a sense of unease as the car approached again. The Zodiac forced the teenagers out of their car before shooting Faraday in the head and Jensen 5 times in the back as she fled. The brutality of the attack shocked the community. 6 months later, on July 4, 1969, the Zodiac struck again. This time, his targets were Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau. Darlene Ferrin, 22, and Michael Mageau, 19, were parked in the Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo when a car approached. The couple was enjoying a peaceful evening together. A man emerged, shining a bright flashlight into their vehicle. The sudden light must have been blinding and terrifying. He opened fire, killing Ferrin and severely wounding Mageau. The attack was swift and merciless. Just minutes after the Blue Rock Springs attack, the killer called the Vallejo Police Department, calmly reporting, "I want to report a murder." His calm demeanor was chilling. "If you will go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway to a public park, you will find kids in a brown car." The killer provided precise directions to the crime scene. "They have been shot by me." The Zodiac's audacity was unprecedented. On September 27, 1969, the Zodiac attacked again, this time at Lake Berryessa, north of San Francisco. The serene setting was shattered by violence. Cecilia Shepard, 22, and Brian Hartnell, 20, were enjoying a picnic when a man approached them wearing a hooded costume with the Zodiac symbol on the front. The sight must have been horrifying. He bound and stabbed the couple repeatedly. The attack was brutal and methodical. Hartnell survived the attack, but Shepard died 2 days later. The loss was devastating for her family and friends. The Zodiac's final confirmed victim was Paul Stein, a 29-year-old cab driver, on October 11, 1969. Stein was simply doing his job when he crossed paths with the killer. Stein was shot and killed in his cab in San Francisco's Presidio Heights neighborhood. The randomness of the attack added to the fear. The killer took Steiny's wallet and a piece of his blood-soaked shirt. This gruesome trophy was meant to taunt the authorities. Days later, a letter arrived at the San Francisco Chronicle containing the shirt piece and a chilling message. "This is the Zodiac speaking." The killer's arrogance was on full display. "I am the murderer of the cab driver." The Zodiac's reign of terror left an indelible mark on the community. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror was as much a psychological campaign as it was a spree of violence. His actions were calculated to instill fear and uncertainty in the hearts of the public. He terrorized not only through his actions but also through his chilling correspondence with the media and the public. Each letter he sent was a reminder of his presence and his ability to strike again. Beginning with a phone call confessing to the murders of David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, the Zodiac maintained a steady stream of communication. His messages were designed to taunt and provoke both the authorities and the public. He sent letters, postcards, and even a Halloween card, each one a chilling reminder of his crimes and his continued presence. These correspondences were filled with cryptic messages and ominous threats. The most unnerving aspect of these communications was the Zodiac's use of ciphers. These complex codes were a twisted game, challenging the brightest minds to decode his messages. He seemed to relish the act of taunting investigators, promising clues to his identity hidden within complex codes. The ciphers were a cruel puzzle, designed to frustrate and confound. These ciphers became a source of endless fascination and frustration, their intricate patterns holding the potential to unmask the killer. Yet they also served to deepen the mystery surrounding his identity. One of the most infamous ciphers, known as the 408 cipher, named for its 408 characters, was sent to the San Francisco Chronicle in August 1969. This cipher was a tantalizing clue hinting at the mind behind the murders. This cipher, filled with seemingly random symbols and letters, remained unsolved for decades. It was a testament to the Zodiac's cunning and his desire to remain an enigma. Then, in 1969, a schoolteacher and his wife, Donald and Betty Harden, cracked the code. Their breakthrough was a significant moment in the investigation. The message, while disturbing, offered little insight into the killer's identity. It was a chilling glimpse into his twisted mind. It read in part, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." This statement encapsulated the Zodiac's perverse enjoyment of his crimes. The Zodiac's letters were more than just boasts or threats. They were a window into his psyche, revealing a mind obsessed with control, power, and the thrill of the hunt. They offered a glimpse into the killer's psyche, revealing a mind obsessed with control, power, and the thrill of the hunt. His need for recognition was insatiable. He craved recognition, demanding that his letters be published on the front page of newspapers. This was his way of ensuring his notoriety and keeping the public in a state of fear. He threatened to escalate his violence, claiming to have developed a death machine and plans to target school buses. These threats were designed to maximize fear and ensure his legacy of terror.